The private jet door opened slowly, warm Miami sunlight poured across the runway as Emily Carter stepped down in a tailored cream blazer, oversized sunglasses shielding her eyes from the cameras waiting below. She moved with calm confidence, not flashy, not loud, just certain. 3 years ago, she was wiping down sticky diner tables for $4 tips, and most people didn't even look at her. Today, her skincare brand ships over 50,000 orders every month. But none of this started in luxury. It started in exhaustion. At 23 years old, Emily was a single mother living in a small one-bedroom apartment in Miami, Florida. The kitchen ceiling paint was peeling, the air conditioner rattled nonstop, and rent was always just a few days late. Every morning at 6:30 a.m., she tied her hair into a low bun, buttoned her faded diner uniform, and practiced a smile she didn't feel. Coffee refill? Most customers never said her name. Some snapped their fingers. Some avoided eye contact. She wasn't angry. She was invisible. One afternoon, a group of girls from her old high school walked into the diner. Designer handbags, perfect makeup, confident laughter. One of them squinted at her.
Wait,
Emily?
did that.
Oh my God,
Right?
you work here?
That was
Emily
hilarious.
smiled.
Stop.
Professional.
Best night ever.
Controlled? Yeah. What can I get you? They weren't trying to be cruel, but they didn't have to be. When they left, she stood in the bathroom a little longer than usual, staring at her reflection. She used to say she'd build something big, something beautiful, something that belonged to her. Now she was calculating tip percentages to afford groceries. One night after a double shift, her car wouldn't start. Her 4-year-old daughter was asleep in the back seat. Emily opened her banking app. $63.18. Her landlord had already sent a warning text. School supplies were due next week. She gripped the steering wheel and whispered, "I cannot live like this anymore." Not dramatic, not loud, just honest. That night, at 1:07 a.m., sitting at her tiny kitchen table while her daughter slept, Emily opened her laptop. Instead of scrolling through social media, she searched one sentence: how to start a skincare brand. Power. She remembered how women at the diner constantly talked about acne, dark spots, insecurity. She started watching tutorials at 2 a.m. Private labeling, ingredients, brand positioning, marketing psychology. She took notes like her future depended on it, because it did. Her idea was simple. A brand that felt expensive, without being unreachable. She named it Lumia Beauty. Soft, feminine, luxurious. She invested nearly all her savings into her first small production batch. When the products arrived, she lined them up on her kitchen counter. White bottles, gold lettering. She ran her fingers across the label. It didn't look like much, but to her, it looked like a doorway. Launch week came. She posted on social media, messaged old friends, shared in small online groups. Total sales, $412. After expenses, almost nothing. Her sister called gently, "Hey maybe you should focus
Emily,
on
I've been
something
so
stable.
worried.
You
Are you
already
okay?
have so much
I'm okay.
responsibility."
It's just
It wasn't
a lot right
criticism,
now.
it was
I'm
fear,
here for
and fear
you.
can sound louder than belief. For 2 days, she considered quitting, then she looked at her daughter drawing at the kitchen table, and she decided to try again. Not harder, smarter. She redesigned everything. Cleaner logo, better product photos, stronger brand story. Instead of selling ingredients, she sold transformation, confidence, glow. Then something small changed everything. An influencer with 50,000 followers reposted Lumia Beauty. Orders started coming in, $300 in a day, then $1,200, then $8,000 in a week. Emily didn't celebrate loudly. She reinvested. Better supplier, faster shipping, improved formulas. 6 months later, $30,000 in 1 month. She stared at the screen quietly, then she closed the laptop and went back to work. Success is never smooth. A supplier delayed a major shipment. Customers began emailing. Refund requests stacked up. Social media comments turned impatient. For 72 hours straight, she barely slept, answering messages, finding new manufacturers, negotiating emergency production. At one point, she sat alone on the warehouse floor surrounded by boxes and thought, this is where it collapses. But instead of quitting, she responded. Every email, every complaint, every problem. And customers noticed. She didn't hide. She took responsibility. Trust grew stronger. And so did Lumia Beauty. 2 years later, Lumia Beauty was shipping 50,000 orders a month. Retail deals were forming. Beauty blogs were featuring her brand. She moved into a Miami penthouse overlooking the ocean. Floor-to-ceiling windows, soft neutral colors, silence, the peaceful kind. She chartered her first private flight to New York for a beauty conference, not for attention, but because time had become more valuable than money. As the jet lifted into the sky, she looked out the window, calm, grounded, grateful. A week later, she drove past the old diner. Same sign, same parking lot, different version of her. She didn't feel anger. She didn't feel revenge. She felt appreciation. The place fed her when her dream couldn't. At the airport that evening, her daughter ran into
my
her arms.
sweet girl.
"Mommy," she asked softly,
missed
"are we rich now?"
you.
I
Emily
missed you
smiled.
more.
"No, baby, we're free." They ignored her when she carried plates. Now the world carries her brand. Success didn't arrive overnight. It arrived after 1 a.m. research sessions, after $63 in her bank account, after refusing to stay invisible. Sometimes the glow you're searching for is the one you build yourself. Fade to black. Make sure you follow, like, comment, and share for more stories.